Screen தெரியுதா? Oh, sorry. நான் ஷேரே கொடுக்கல. 1 second. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, ka.
Okay, fine. Okay, good evening, guys. 2 weeks அப்புறம் வெயிட் பண்றோம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். 3 weeks அப்புறம். Okay, fine. So, today in the session full-ஆவே we'll be dealing about NodeMCUs and stuff regarding with NodeMCUs. So இன்னைக்கு part வந்து I have divided into 3 parts today in today's session. First partல வந்து we'll just look into some basic definitions on what exactly is NodeMCU and where it is used, applications and all. அதெல்லாம் first partல பார்க்கலாம். In second part, it's pin configuration. Unlike Arduino, you just need to know some pin configurations with NodeMCU. So second part will deal with that. Third one, just some examples. How to get IP address and how to actually use it. Okay, wow, fine. So, okay. What is NodeMCU? NodeMCU there is something called ESP8266. So don't confuse with it. NodeMCU is actually a development board. Okay, so it's used in IoT platform where your firmware will be running on your module. That is your ESP8266 module. Fine. So NodeMCU is basically a development board inside which you have a microchip. So yeah, okay. Firmware na enna, it's a you already know it, but just solidra. It's actually it's neither it's not an hardware, neither a software. It's actually in between. It allows you to have the communication that's between your smartphone and PC. Okay, so this is basically a NodeMCU, and this ESP8266. This ESP is nothing but a company name. Okay, Expressive. Yeah, Expressive. That is a company name, and this 8266 is a controller. So basically, this is a chip which you can see in your NodeMCU board. In the part இருக்குல, like இங்க ஒரு ஆண்டனா இருக்கு and மேல ஒரு chip இருக்குல, that's nothing but your ESP8266. நீ மொத்தமா பார்த்தேன்னா it's a development board. So this ESP8266 is a microchip which enables you some options like Wi-Fi, hotspot. You can do this stuff with your ESP module, and yeah, it even supports your serial peripheral and UART, which is another asynchronous communications. It will be very supportive, and yeah, avladhan. So serial communication, it's nothing but the communication which is happening between your PC and your external device like sensors or SD cards and mari sollalam. So that is your serial peripheral interference. And UART na vanda you can actually configure the data formats, the format in which you can send your data, or transmission speed, everything you can configure with UART. That is basically a UART. And 1 second. Yeah. The I2C na it's nothing but an it allows you to transfer data with multiple ICs. ஒரே same circuit la you can actually transfer data. It's nothing. Everything is related to data. So don't get too much into it. Just a small introduction. And this is about the versions of NodeMCU. This is a version 1 which is in yellow color, and adula enna difference veena pathina, here you have 6 reserved keys. RC irukla, that is nothing but a reserved pin which you can't actually you don't have any permission to access it, so you can't access these pins. 6 are irundhuchu. Then in your version 2 additional 12 it got upgraded to 12E, in which the reserved pins it got reduced to 2. Rendu pinna reduce aachu. And also chip idu pathina adla yellow to black conversion. And version 3 la vandu in the rendu reserved pin they unlocked. You had an option to use USB pins and additional ground vanduchu, though these 2 pins. This is a version of NodeMCU. Basically இந்த ரெண்டு வெர்ஷனும் ஒண்ணுதான், ஜஸ்ட் லிட்டில் அப்கிரேடட். ஒன்றும் பெரிய டிஃபரன்ஸ்லாம் கிடையாது. ஸோ மோஸ்ட்லி இதுதான் யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க, ESP12V. So ரெண்டுக்குமே much difference இல்ல. Overall பார்த்தா there is only two versions, version 1, version 2 அப்படி. அதாவது 0.9 and 1 ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Those are all the versions. So yeah. Now why NodeMCU? Because we are entering into something new called NodeMCU, where it is used. If you ask me, then NodeMCUs, you can use it in IoT applications like home automations and what else, agricultural monitoring systems, health monitoring, all those IoT. Many project examples are there where you can use IoT, which will be more efficient for main purpose என்னன்னா for Wi-Fi hotspot enabling options அந்த மாதிரி. So வேற என்னன்னா வந்து it's very cheap and small. You can integrate it with your breadboard and do some cool projects with it, and it's powerful, low power consumption. இதெல்லாம் just some information about it. And it has 13 pins, input output pins, in which one pin is a digital pin, other 12 pins are I'm sorry, one pin is analog pin, another 12 pins are digital pins. Okay, so yeah, D1 to D8 you can use as a PWM pins, and this is except that D0 pin, every pin has an ability to have interrupt to be attached to them. Interrupt na actually என்னதுன்னா வந்து while you are running a set of instruction, திடீர்னு ஒரு another set of instruction will get interrupted. So it allows you to complete this execution that you are doing, this instruction set that you are doing. It allows you to complete this thing, and it will get back to that interrupted one. Okay, this option is available in NodeMCU except D0. Yeah, so okay, these are all the specifications. If you just go through that NodeMCU datasheet, you can actually get quite a lot of details about its specifications and memory, storage, etc. The microcontroller one, this is a company which uses 32-bit RISC. That is a kind of instruction. Adala, I think next semester, next third year, I think you'll be reading about these things. RISC na actually it is like a optimized set of instruction, reduced instruction. So on the type of microcontroller that we are using here, and this is operating voltage. Now there you will be using on voltage regulator 3.3 volts, and this is input voltage ranges, and flash, RAM, clock. You have one external micro USB with your NodeMCU. On the external akoda you can provide power to it. This PCB antenna allows you to do I'm sorry. Okay, this PCB antenna will allows you to enable hotspot and Wi-Fi options. நான் பேசுறது கேக்குதுல? I'm audible, right? Yeah, cool. Okay, fine. So these are all the basic specifications, and next thing is இது just a parts தான். This thing இங்க இருக்குல, that is a chip in your NodeMCU, and இங்க இருக்கது தான் voltage regulator, which will regulate 3.3 volt, and this is the manual flash and reset button. If you have any irregular things that is happening with your work, you can actually reset your board. And antenna, basically you have some couple of capacitors to cool down this controller. And இன்னொரு வந்து I just want to say it because இங்க ஒரு LED தெரியுதா, on board LED. This is the one. Okay, this is your default LED. இங்க ஒன்னு தெரியுதா, that is nothing but your தெரியுதுல, this is my pointer. இங்க தான் இருக்கு pointer. The D0 ல இருக்குல, that will glow when you are uploading any code. When there is some interaction, communication between your board to any devices, you'll see this LED blinking continuously, random manner it will glow. But this LED here, this is an onboard LED. It will differ from board to board. If you have tested this actually, that with your default LED code, you might have figured out D0 or D4 might be a D0 or D4 might be a default LED pin. So this one is a default LED and not this one. Okay, many got doubt with this LED thing. Okay. So moving on, second part is it's about about its pin configurations. It basically deals with the SPI, UART, and general purpose input output registers. And then we can we'll see, okay, one by one. So here power pins. You can provide power to your NodeMcu with that micro USB. Though inga irka micro USB kutti therida. So with your even your mobile adapter irukla charge பண்ணுவீங்களா, even with that you can actually connect and power your NodeMcu. Illa, I don't want to use that external cable. I just have to give some cable use பண்ணாம I have to give power supply directly to MCU through some external power supply or something. Now then you can go with this VIN pin which supplies 5 volts to your NodeMcu, or you can use this 3v3. If you have your board with you, you can see some 3 to 4 3v3 pins. No, இங்கெல்லாம் இருக்கும். So here 3.3, 3.3, 3.3. It is a regulated voltage which you can supply to your board. You have 3v3 pins and ground pins. Yeah, ground pins. You have some 4 to 5 ground pins, and control pins. It basically used to restart your NodeMcu or to enable your board. Control pin. The EN here is enable pin. Here in your left side you can see EN pin and reset pin inga irukum. Though killer ka. This one is your reset pin. Highlighter. Yeah, good here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is your enable pin, and here you can see the reset pin with which you can reset and play with it. Okay, now general purpose input output pins. As you can see here, D0 to D4 and D5 to like TX, you have general purpose pins, and here SD3, SD2 you have some pins. Okay, so general purpose pin, you usually have 16 GPIO pins. Inga you have some 6 or 7 pins, and inga or 4 to 5 pins irukum, inga or 6 pins irukum. In the part in the board in the motta chip da vandu in the area, this area. Here you can see some 6 dots. Okay, adudhan. Okay, wow. So generally board la pata this six things will be generally used to run to execute your programs, your works that is happening in your to execute and regulate your works, programs, and storing in memory. Those things are happening. Those things are done here. Okay, so inga irukra pins la, it's actually TX or transmitter receiver, and SEL, that is your clock synchronization clock pin, and SDN, it's basically exchanging data with master slave concept la. I guess you might not be knowing. Master slave no or concept varum digitals la something nenikiran. Yeah, and flash. See, as a chip selector, this one is a chip selector, and here you have clock, that is master clock, and MIS one, it's basically master in slave out and master out slave in. Romba concentrate panna vena, but just தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. Master in slave out is nothing but master is like a receive will take care of receiving part, and slave is for transmitting part. This one is master, quite opposite to MISO. அவ்வளவுதான். So generally நீங்க கோட் பண்ணும்போது unlike Arduino, like Arduino la you'll just mention 1 2 3 4 அவ்வளவுதான். It you'll declare it to some variable and you'll straight away use it. But here you need to 16 அப்படினா it correspond to D3. You just have to connect your output or whatever to this pin D0 to connect பண்ணும். இல்ல ஒரு 5 ஒரு 3 something போட்டீங்கன்னா D3 ல போட கூடாது, இங்க இந்த பின்ல கனெக்ட் பண்ணும். அந்த மாதிரி there are some things in NodeMcu. Okay, இதான் வந்து general purpose pins, and yeah, it even allows as I said before, SPI communication it allows. அதுவும் வந்து இந்த 4 pins, these 4 pins, MOSI, CS, MISO, SLCK. These pins allows for SPI communication. And UARTs you can see here, RXTX. This is generally for asynchronous communications, transmitter receiver part here. Yeah. As I said before, your index, if you gave like 60 or something, it correspond to D naught. Or if you gave like 5 4 2 it correspond to 1 2 3 4 5 அந்த மாதிரி இதோட ஒரு சின்ன table. You just have to keep it in mind while coding stuffs in NodeMcu. And basically you just have to set it on the GPIO mode. Now pin number கொடுக்கணும் இங்க which pin you are connecting to, either it may be output or input. கொடுத்துட்டு like Arduino ல வந்து you'll be providing pin mode and all, right? So here you'll be giving GPIO.mode, and here you will be specifying the pin that you are using, and here output, input, and all those things you'll mention here. And read, it generally reads, and write generally writes. Level is nothing but high low level that you are mentioning. And இன்னும் நிறைய இருக்கு functions. You can actually go through this link. It is in detail about GPIOs. Okay, so அதான் theory part வந்து முடிஞ்சிச்சு. Now we'll actually get into that how to get that link, and how to work on it, and how to get that IP address and all. Till now, any doubts? Hello. பேசுறது கேட்டுச்சா? Okay, fine. So moving on. First one, I know you might have done this Blink LED by downloading that package ESP86. That package you might have downloaded, and you might have done your 1 second LED. But again, I just want to go through it again, because ரொம்ப நாள் ஆயிடுச்சு வந்து போயிருப்பீங்க. என்ன பண்ணணும்னா GitHub லிங்க் இருக்கும். ஆக்சுவலி அதுல வந்து யூ கேன் GitHubல இல்ல வாட் யூ கேன் ரெஃபர் எனிதிங். GitHub தான் ஆக்சுவலி very useful. அங்க போனா you might get that link for downloading packages. So yeah, you can even get that from the video that was sent in group la. File preference, you go to file preference, and you'll be adding that link of package here in additional boards manager URL. You have to add that link here. Okay, and then go to tools, board manager, and make sure you installed that package. I've already installed it, so it's it's showing. Illana just install it and close it, restart your Arduino, and then start working on it, because தேவலாம் error லாம் காட்டும். So just restart your Arduino and then work on it. அவ்வளவுதான். And முடிச்சிட்டு to verify, just go to boards and see if this ESP8266 it is available, and make sure you select this version too. As I said before, this is 0.9 and this is 1. You are dealing with 12E modules, so make sure you press this one. And port only இப்போதைக்கு it will not be visible, because I haven't connected anything to it. But if you use some 3 or 4 ports, inga காட்டும் COM3, COM4, COM5 something. But make sure port connect பண்ணி கரெக்ட்டா நீங்க எப்போ கனெக்ட் பண்றீங்களோ அந்த போர்ட் காட்டும். ரிமூவ் பண்ணிட்டா it will go off. Make sure you select that port, because port ஒழுங்கா செலக்ட் பண்ணாம பிரச்சனை வரும். So yeah, இப்போ first வந்து that blink LED அது ஒரு வாட்டி பார்த்துடலாம். Go to example ESP82 and blink தான் நீங்க ஆல்ரெடி பண்ணதுதான். Yeah, inga here it will be mentioned like default LED built in, but you have to specify I mean, if you have to make your particular pin glow, you have to specify like D la da, D, capital D, not capital D, something will be mentioning. And yeah, by that you can know what is your default LED pin. Okay. If there is no port visible, now I'm gonna connect my USB to this NodeMcu. Close it and open again, and now it's COM4. Okay, so make sure in the குட்டி tick வந்திருக்கா அப்படின்ட்டு check பண்ணிக்கோங்க. Okay, yeah, fine. So I'm just gonna upload it. 1 minute. Okay, if my screen is visible, I'm sorry. Here கீழ வந்து there will be a light glowing. Am I visible? Okay, fine. Down here, some LED blink will be glowing. I don't know if you can see this or not. இங்க சின்னதா தெரியுதுல? That is the one indicating that your code is transferring. அப்புறம் மேல this LED, மேல இருக்கிற default LED will blink according to your delay or something. So அதான். Okay, don't confuse with this LED and this LED. Okay, fine. So yeah. Next is okay. Now we'll just do some coding and get that IP address. Okay, so yeah, maina vande this NodeMcu with this NodeMcu, you know, actually it enables options like Wi-Fi, hotspots and all. You'll be getting some unique IP address with which you'll be working. So for that, first you need to import this module, this ESP8266 Wi-Fi.h. This is a library. I'm sorry, this is a library. You have to include it. Only then you can generate that IP address. First one, I'll do 4 things. Okay, first one, using hotspot, and second is you can generate your own Wi-Fi. Okay, with which you can create your own username and password. Second thing, we'll go with that. Okay. So first, I have included this library ESP862, that library, and this line is basically providing my username and password of my device. Okay, in the device order you are connecting, you have to provide that username and password. Here I'm using this device and my password is this. And inside this settings, I'm starting the serial communication, and here I'm printing some stuffs, and yeah, inga da vandu Wi-Fi I'm starting excuse me, I'm starting my Wi-Fi communication here with this line Wi-Fi.begin SSID. It's passing parameters SSID and your password. Okay, and in the line vandu Wi-Fi.status, what it will do is it will check if your if the connection between your Wi-Fi and module is happening. Once அது happen ஆற வரைக்கும், this while loop will continuously be running, printing ... providing some 1 second of delay. So it means that still your device is not connected. Maybe உன்னோட hotspot நீ ஆன் பண்ணாம இருந்திருப்ப, or some issues might be happening. So அந்த dot வரும். Once your 2 devices connected, you can see this in the screen, the serial monitor screen. You can actually connect பண்ணல, so it's not showing. So in that monitor, you can actually go through, see this Wi-Fi connected, and you can get your IP address with which you can work. And it's a command to get your IP address, Wi-Fi.local IP. So yeah, first make sure that you install this, you include this library, and username password just mention it. And next thing is starting the serial communication, and so starting the Wi-Fi communication between this module and your PC. And yeah, அவ்வளவுதான். This will check for the Wi-Fi connectivity, and once it is connected, it will just show off this information. என் லூப்ல வந்து எதுவும் இப்போதைக்கு நான் போடல பிகாஸ் இஃப் யூ ஆர் டூயிங் சம் எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் if you wanna print something in your browser, or if you wanna play around with HTML and CSS, you can do that. Actually I have an example. Next we'll see that. If only just we are just obtaining an IP address, okay, that this example will only obtain an IP address, a unique IP address for your node. So yeah, one second. Just go on and you have to turn on your hotspot. I forgot to mention that. And correct on username password லாம் கொடுங்க, இல்லனா எரர் காட்டாது பட் அவுட்புட் வராது, something. Okay, so now I'm connecting. Okay, it's connected and I'm uploading. And one more important thing, here make sure that you select the right baud rate. இங்க mention பண்ணிக்கிற அதே baud rate you have to choose here. Okay, here 115200 baud rate. What is happening? Yeah, it will take some time, some yeah. After uploading, you just have to press that reset button, okay, in your MCU. And after some time, your IP address will be visible here. So this dot 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 here, it means it is connecting and attempting to connect. And here you got the address, I mean IP address. You can actually copy this, go to your browser. Even in your Android, you can actually paste this and you can work around with this. Okay, so this is how this is like a hotspot. You can even create your own Wi-Fi network. Okay, so next thing is, இதுல ஏதாவது டவுட் இருக்கா? Is it clear? Hello, do you have any doubt or hello, இருக்கீங்களா? யாராச்சும் பேசுங்கடா.
கிளியர் தான்ப்பா, கிளியர் தான்.
ஓகே, ஓகே ஃபைன். ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் திங் இஸ், இது வந்து ஒரு சின்ன எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஓகேவா? இது வந்து ஜஸ்ட் அந்த ப்ரௌசரை வச்சு ஹவு டு அதே பிளிங்க் எல்இடி, நீங்க பண்ண பிளிங்க் எல்இடி தான், பட் அதே பிளிங்க் எல்இடி டு யூனோ ப்ரௌசர் வச்சு ஹவு த திங்ஸ் ஆர் ஹேப்பனிங் அப்படின்றதுக்கு ஜஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஐ ரன் இட் and show the output. Next வந்து will look at the code. One second. Okay, நான் என்னோட அவுட்புட் பின் வந்து இங்க 15 டிக்ளேர் பண்ணிருக்கேன். ஓகே, which means I have to connect my pin to GPIO 15 is corresponding to 8. Okay, wow. You have to connect your LED pin, that is your output, to D8. Okay, in your NodeMcu. That is how you provide pins. Okay, fine. So I'll just run it. Okay. அண்ட் இந்த கோட் எக்ஸாம்பிள்லயும் ரொம்ப டீப்பா திங்க் பண்ணிக்காங்க. ஜஸ்ட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் த கான்செப்ட். ஓகே, உள்ள லாஜிக்லாம் வந்து okay. Now I got the IP. I'll just go copy this thing and அதாவது browser choose பண்ணி paste பண்ணிக்கோங்க. சாரி, என்னோட வைஃபை ரொம்ப ஸ்லோவா இருக்கு. One minute. Okay, so this is what is happening in your browser. You have got this. இது நான் வந்து பேக்ரவுண்ட்ல என்ன நடக்குன்னு I'll just show you. Okay, so here are the details that's happening behind the browser. You got the IP address and there is one new entry, that is new color. Every time you open the browser, you get they'll get a new client request. You are just requesting them, and these are all some details, some technical details, and yeah. So இங்க வந்து wait, I'll just on my screen. Okay, is my screen visible? இப்போ the LED, I have connected the LED to my D8th pin. I have grounded the other pin, other side. Okay, தெரியுதா? Okay, fine. I'll just go ahead and on this. இது off stateல இருக்கு. Now I'm gonna on this. Okay, my LED will glow, and if I'm gonna off, it will turn off. So yeah, you can even use your smartphones and anything to actually control your LED. Home automations or voice controlled robot, anything you can do. Yeah, now let's just get back to the code. Screen தெரிஞ்சுச்சா? Okay, இப்போ கோடுல what is happening is, in the first லாம் வந்து it's just the username, password and including libraries, and this Wi-Fi server, this is actually this part, this line, this is actually the server who's responding to client. That is what happening here. Every time you the a new client is coming up, they'll try to interact, and the 80 hello. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah, this 80, Y80 port, through the port 80. Okay, Y80 port means this is a standard port which will be used to this browser and user client interaction அதுக்காக. And இதெல்லாம் just சும்மா initialization, and you are just initially on your LED should be in off state in your browser. அதுக்கு input I'm declaring it as 15. Okay, I'm sorry, நான் 15 போடணும், 5 போட்டேன். 15. Okay, 15th pin, 15 pin, it means you have to connect your LED to D8. Okay, and இதெல்லாம் timings and setupல வந்து you are initializing serial communication, and இதெல்லாம் you already know, declaring it as output pin initially low, அதெல்லாம். And you are again checking for the status, if it is connected or if the Wi-Fi is connected or not. You are checking and printing those stuffs. And inside this loop, here you are actually waiting for the client to show up. Once the client is available here, if there is a client, you have to do all these things. These just don't worry about it. சும்மா இல்ல இன்டர்னல் ப்ராசஸ் தான். ஜஸ்ட் நான் அந்த வைஃபை எப்படி ஒர்க் ஆகுதுன்றதுக்காக தான் இங்க எடுத்து காட்டினேன். ஓகேவா, இதெல்லாம் டைமிங்ஸ். அப்புறம் you are actually playing around with HTML and CSS. இங்க தான் வந்து creating a button, press பண்ணா every time you press it will it will print on, and your output state will be on and LED glow. இல்லனா வந்து ஆஃப் ஆயிருக்கும். and இதெல்லாம் வந்து general HTML தான். If you know HTML CSS, you can actually understand this. Header, அப்புறம் வந்து link URLs and styles, your your text alignments and styles, buttons, texts, அதெல்லாம் தான் ஜென்ரலா. இதெல்லாம் புரியலன்னு வரி பண்ணிக்காதீங்க. Just understand the concept and just don't focus on these parts. Okay, இதெல்லாம் தான். Okay, fine. Now you are doing this அப்புறம் getting out of loop, அப்புறம் closing everything and that's it. Okay, அதான் மெயினா இந்த பார்ட்ல ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Okay, and how the things are happening behind அப்படின்றது, if you are interested you can go ahead and actually look for it. And yeah, இதுதான் வந்து you are actually enabling high hotspots, and you can even create your own Wi-Fi with your own username and password. You can actually do that. Where is it? இதான். This is a code for it. You need to for that you need to download some pack. It's on GitHub link. I'll share you the code. You can do it if you are interested. Actually, you have to do it. Weekend homework இதான். Not a homework, just practice. Okay. So you have to do some have some several library packages with you to do the Wi-Fi managing thing. And yeah, இதெல்லாம் basic setup தான், you already know. எங்க போச்சு? 1 minute. இங்க இருக்கு. Okay. So in the line it'll start config portal Wi-Fi password. Here you'll be giving your username password. Okay, I mean you'll be setting up your own Wi-Fi system. So அதுக்கு வந்து you'll be giving this, and if you don't want to use password, you can actually just ignore it. Okay, wow. You can actually delete this thing if you don't want to give password and all. And yeah, மத்தெல்லாம் வந்து சேம் தான். ஓகேவா? this thing வந்து important, and I'll run it. It's writing. Okay, what happened? Okay, I'll just connect it again. Yeah, here you'll be getting your IP address here to set your Wi-Fi system up. You can go ahead and verify. Yeah, here it is. Your Wi-Fi systems la, you have this ESP. You can and yeah, every devices around, you can actually see this coming up. This thing. Okay. அவ்வளவுதான். I have actually completed. Any doubts? And in the weekend வந்து just try to implement this code. அதை போட்டு வைஃபை செட்டப் பண்ணி அந்த ஐபி அட்ரஸ் வந்து ஜஸ்ட் ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட்டோ சம்திங் எடுத்து ஷேர் டு யுவர் ரெஸ்பெக்டிவ் மென்டாஸ். ஓகே, சும்மா ஐபி அட்ரஸ் மட்டும் அனுப்பாதீங்க, ஜஸ்ட் ஷேர் யுவர் ஹோல் த பேஸ் திங், அந்த அவுட்புட் சீரியல் அவுட்புட் திங், சீரியல் மானிட்டர். ஓகே, எனி டவுட்ஸ்? ஹலோ, வேற ஏதாவது கான்செப்ட் ரிப்பீட் பண்ணுமா? இருக்கீங்களா? கிளியர். ஓகே, எல்லாருக்கும் கிளியரா? மெயினா இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் திங் என்னன்னா, மேக் ஷூர் யூ செலக்ட் த கரெக்ட் போர்ட் அண்ட் ஒரு வாட்டி இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ண ஏதாவது எரர் காட்டினா சும்மா க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிட்டு ஆன் பண்ணுங்க. இல்லைன்னா ஏதாவது போர்ட் கனெக்ஷன் ப்ராப்ளமா இருக்கும், ரிமூவ் பண்ணிட்டு ஆன் பண்ணுங்க, இட் வில் ஜஸ்ட் ஒர்க் ஃபைன். அண்ட் போர்டு வந்து மேக் ஷூர் யூ செலக்ட் த கரெக்ட் போர்டு. நோட் எம்சியூ 1 ESP12E மாடியூல் அதை வந்து செலக்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். அது வந்து கரெக்டா செலக்ட் பண்ணுங்க. இதெல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டாலே வந்து ஜஸ்ட் வீக்கெண்ட்ல வந்து இதெல்லாம் ட்ரை பண்ணி பாருங்க. பிகாஸ் ஹார்ட்வேர்ல நீங்க வரைக்கும் பண்ணிருக்க மாட்டோம், ஆர்டினோவே ஜஸ்ட் சாஃப்ட்வேர்ல தான் பண்ணீங்க. ஸோ ஹியர் ஜஸ்ட் ப்ராக்டிஸ் ஆல் தீஸ் திங்ஸ். ஒழுங்கா வருதா அப்படின்னு பார்த்து பண்ணுங்க. இதெல்லாம் ஜஸ்ட் கீப் தீஸ் திங்ஸ் இன் மைண்ட். ஓகே, if you want me to repeat anything or I can do that. Okay, fine. If you don't have any doubts, you can actually leave.
Done, Harshita.